Hey guys, what's up? Tyrone Bray here, founder of Titan Health and Performance, and welcome to this week's health tip. Getting good quality sleep is no longer easy these days, especially with all the advancements in technology and the fact that daytime lasts as long as we want it to. By that I'm obviously referring to the fact that we're on laptops all the time. We've got mobile phone signals everywhere. We've got obviously our TVs, and then obviously the fact that we can keep artificial light on for as long as we wish, with all the lighting in our homes, etc. This is confusing for your body and obviously for your hormonal systems. And the problem is, once your hormonal systems are out of whack, it doesn't take long for your sleep to follow. Believe it or not, sleep is very important for overall health. And on a basic level, lack of sleep or lack of good quality sleep can begin to affect things such as your memory or mental performance. It can increase the risk of common colds. It can hinder insulin sensitivity, which in turn will contribute to your fat storage, and it can also prevent adequate production of growth hormone and other anabolic hormones, which impairs regeneration, of course. Many of you likely know that we repair and regenerate during our sleep, but the problem is the efficiency of these repair and regeneration processes is dependent on a number of factors, such as the time you go to bed, how long you're asleep for, and also the quality of your sleep. So today's video is basically based around engineering the perfect sleep, doing everything you can to make sure that you get to bed, one, on time, but also that once you're in bed, the sleep quality is good. That way, obviously, it will help balance out hormonal systems and things like that, and it will hopefully help make sure that obviously these repair and regeneration processes take place as they should, and you will wake up hopefully feeling more refreshed, more energized, and ready for the day ahead, rather than waking up more tired than when you went to bed. So today I cover 8 action items that you guys can implement to ensure that you get the perfect night's sleep. Number 1 is make sure you get to bed on time. Now by on time, I mean ideally you should be in bed by 10 o'clock. I realize we tend to be very busy and we lead hectic lifestyles these days, but the sooner you can get to bed, the better. And by ensuring that you get to bed on time, you can ensure that you at least get enough sleep. Number 2 is keep your room cool. Research shows that a cooler room is better for getting quality sleep, and you should try leaving the window open to let some cool air in, and try not to use a heavy duvet wherever possible. Number 3, get a good quality bed. Obviously one of the most important things when trying to get a good night's sleep is having a good quality bed. One, you want to be comfortable, and obviously you want one that will support your bone structure, your posture, etc. while you're sleeping. Number 4, make your room dark, really dark. Once the lights go off, you should feel almost as though you're in a cave. Ideally you want no light from outside, so if possible, get hold of some blackout blinds if needed, and switch off all electrical items with bright LEDs. Because research shows that any amount of light can stimulate cortisol, which is your activating hormone. It's the hormone that's supposed to wake you up in the morning, so ideally you want the room as dark as possible. Number 5, make sure your room is as quiet as possible also. So as well as being dark, you want to make sure it's quiet. For some, white noise, such as a fan you might use to keep yourself cool or something, this can actually help certain people get better quality sleep, but other noises such as traffic or people outside making noise, things like that, can often disrupt your sleep, and obviously you don't want that, so you want to make sure you try to keep noise to a minimum wherever possible. Number 6, you want to leave your mobile phone or any other electrical device in a different room if possible. Radiation from mobile phones and electromagnetic frequencies from electrical devices can increase the amount of time it takes to get into deep sleep cycles, and this will then obviously reduce the amount of time you spend in these deep sleep cycles, which in turn will obviously impair the regeneration and repair processes that are supposed to take place overnight. Number 7, you should set a schedule. Ideally, you want to set a schedule, a time that you go to bed and a time that you get up every day, and try to stick to it. The more ritualistic you can be with your sleep-wake cycles, the better, because the body loves routine. Even on days where you don't really have to get up early for work, it's actually better for you to try and get up at that time anyway, and just keep this same cycle going regardless of whether you have work or not. And obviously getting up too late in the day can prevent you from becoming tired at your normal times. So it's ideal to obviously plan a routine and stick to that. Number 8, finally, ideally there'll be no looking at the sun after 8 p.m. Now by this I mean get the hell off your computer. Ideally switch the TVs off, and if you have lighting in your house that you use, ideally you'll have dimmer switches on everything so you can bring the lighting down as the sun goes down. Computer screens, for instance, they use blue light, which is the same light as the midday sun. This obviously encourages you to stay awake, just like the sunlight does, so ideally you want to get away from the screen as early as possible. A minimum of 1 hour before you go to sleep, but ideally as the sun goes down at the latest. If you absolutely must use your computer after sunset, ideally I recommend you download a program called Flux. So that's f.lux, you can see it on the screen now. This is a free program, and it changes the color spectrum on your screen to change with the patterns of sunlight in your region, and this will obviously help encourage better sleep patterns. So there you go, 8 action items that you guys can implement from today to ensure that you get a good quality night's sleep, and also ensure that hopefully you get enough sleep throughout the night. Now, like with anything new, it's no good to try it once. You can't just pick one thing, try it once and expect a miracle to happen. You know, you're probably going to need several of these things to be in place, whichever are missing from your routine, and then obviously once you get it, you're going to have to stick with it, because if it's taken you several months, several years to become unhealthy or develop these poor sleep patterns, then of course just doing these once isn't necessarily going to have the effect that you want. You should notice changes ideally from doing it once, but they're not going to necessarily be the miracle cure. So ideally, like with anything new, you want to do it, you want to stick with it, and obviously over time, the impact it's going to have on you and the improvement in your sleep should increase, providing there isn't obviously anything untoward going on in your system, or you've got other imbalances and dysfunctions elsewhere. So as I say, go through the 8 action items, begin to implement them in any order. It doesn't really matter as long as you're actually moving towards ideal. And then once you've got them nailed, hopefully your sleep will be much better, and as I say, you'll wake up feeling way more refreshed, and not like most people do these days, wake up more tired than when they actually went to bed. As always guys, if you have any questions, any concerns, or even perhaps you've got some tips of your own that you want to share with our readers, then feel free to post them on our blog, and you can just post your comments below. Any questions, concerns, as I say, I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and if not, I shall see you next week on our next video. Thanks for watching guys. Did you like this video? If so, why not subscribe to our channel, and feel free to share this video with all of your friends or family, or anybody that you feel may benefit. And if you'd like access to exclusive health and or performance advice that I only share via email, get yourselves over to titanhealth.com and sign up for email updates.